Hello again, MGTOW, and welcome to my truck. And yes, I am in the truck today. It's just that it's nighttime and I'm in a parking lot um, in the middle of nowhere. And so I decided that it was best not to show my location simply because there's not much to look at and it will do more harm than good to reveal where I am. And so tonight, I have a topic of conversation, and that topic is confusion, frustration, and those two topics, right? But I particularly want to talk about why women create frustration in men, why they create confusion, why they create disarray, why they create chaos. And I believe, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section, but it's been my experience that women right away when they come into contact with a man, they lose no time to create a state of cognitive dissonance, a state of confusion, and a state of frustration. And they do this because, and again, this is just an observation, an opinion based on a certain set of personal observations. I believe they do this because they see it as a way to prove or to find out if the man will set the record straight. You see, to find out if the man whom they're conversating with or interacting with will correct them, will dare correct them. And I believe it's just another form of quote-unquote shit testing. And it's part of their game of power, you see, to see who's got one leg up on the other person, right? See if she's got her heels planted firmly down your neck, or if she can do it in some future time. One example that comes to mind is the toilet seat scenario, right, where a wife, and this of course happens in a mature relationship, right? People already know each other. There's a level of intimacy between the man and the woman involved, but she insists that he put the toilet seat down every time that after he finishes urinating, so that she can use she can just go in the restroom and sit down, right? And I ask, why is the reverse not true, right? Why doesn't she go, or why isn't she willing to go through the trouble of making sure that that the seat is up, so that it remains clean for when she's ready to use it, right? But such an insignificant event, or such an seemingly insignificant thing to us men, they blow it up out of proportion, and they at first it seems, well, it's just minor, right? But if you look deeper into it, the psychological implications of what she has done, right, by forcing you to put the toilet seat down, are astounding. She is part of the process of her indoctrinating you, uh, and more so making you compliant, right? More so than making you compliant is this is her making you um, obey her commands, right? Her creating this chaos to prove that she can control you. And anyways, yeah, it's a short video, just some of my observations. I have another scenario, right? I went through a you guys know I'm a driver, so I went through a toll booth a few days ago, and there was a manning or womaning the toll booth was a woman, right? Post wall, she was I want to say half Native American, half Caucasian. This is irrelevant. I'm just saying it just to give you an idea of what she looked like. Not a bad looking woman, but she did have some sort of a fake tan going on, and hair all kind of it was good looking hair, but it was overdone. That's what I want to say. But anyways, so I approached the toll booth, and I have speed pass in my truck, right? So I could go through it without an issue. She told me I was all set, but I stopped because I wanted to find out how much the toll would have been if I would exit one exit away from where that particular toll booth was. So I asked, how much would it be if I were to exit at the very next exit? And she's like, well, I don't know where you're exiting at. It's a big highway. It's not. I'm like, listen, it's the next exit. And she's like, well, I don't know what next means to you. So it's incredible, but it was a matter of seconds, and I didn't really make sense of what she was doing at that instance, but I had time to think about it when I left, right? And I said, why would this woman say to me that she did not know what the word next meant to me? And one possibility is that she creates this aura, or this scene of confusion, this chaos, this the scenario, right? To for the reasons that I've already stated, right? To show who's boss, even though she's just a toll collector. So, but you have to keep in mind too that there's a time constraint when you're going through a toll booth, right? There are cars behind you, and so everything is used to her advantage to create this chaotic situation, and for her to show her control over me. And lucky I did not have to deal with her on a long-term basis, and I had the time to think about what had taken place, which is very important. We have to once we leave a relationship, right, with a woman, and I'm going to do another video on this, it's very important to take the time for ourselves, because only by having time away from a new woman, right, by having time for ourselves, solitude, right, time sitting by a lake, enjoying nature, quietly thinking about things, right, only by having that time Are we able to process some of the information, some of the things, that some of the experiences that that we went through, right? With with a person who had psychologically abused us for, sometimes even years, right? So very important to spend time alone, even if we choose to in the future begin anew, uh, a new relationship. If if you decide to do that, it's still uh, in my opinion, it's still wise to take the time and to think about what happened with the first person before um, before you're lusted into a second, a third, a fourth, or 10th relationship, because only then can you learn uh, more about yourself, about how you handle the situation, about how you are likely to handle it in the future, right? You can learn about what learn about the other person, right? You can pick up a book at the library and find out more about uh, the psychology behind what took place, and get your finances in order. Get yourself in a position where you do not need another woman uh, to feel complete. And you know you do that by being able to take care of yourself, right? So when she comes around and she says, what would you do without me? Because they all do it. I've had several different women. And they all do it, right? What would you do without me, right? They ask, and you go ahead and you say, um, even if you're not able to tell her, right, to verbalize it, because we are not as verbally adept as women are usually. Um, inside of yourself, you know that you can take care of yourself. You know that you can cook for yourself, that you can clean for yourself, that of course you can work outside the home and provide for yourself, that you can fix the car, that you can mend a garment, right? Um, these things are very important, especially if you're young, to find out who you are, right? To discover um, the person who you are. What makes you tick? What do you like, right? What kind of razors do you use? Right? What kind of clothing do you enjoy wearing before she comes around and changes your wardrobe, before you had a chance to discover the kinds of clothing that you really enjoy wearing? What kind of shoes do you use? Are you a late night sleeper or an early bird riser? Right? This process of discovery, self-discovery, is very important. But anyways, I hope that this has somehow helped another man out there, another human being, another fellow man that's perhaps going through a hard time, or has gone through a hard time, to recover from the damage, right, that this gynocentric society has inflicted upon many of us. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching, or rather, thank you for listening, and have yourself a good night.